Hi, guys. Welcome back to She Speaks Bravo. I'm Emily, and that's Kendrick.
Why, hello.
And we normally talk Bravo. We normally talk true crime, but we also talk about White Lotus, and that is what we're going to start with today. And so if you are not already subscribed, get subscribed because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week. If not more, because there's been a lot of content to put out. If you're already subscribed, though, love you, mean it. Thank you so much for your support. I've got a little announcement, though. I know I normally do video stuff for the YouTube, but guess what?
What?
I also was selected, as if it's like a big lottery I won, but I kind of feel like I did. Spotify has the video option for certain shows, and they have selected this show here at She Speaks Bravo to participate. So this will now be available as a video on Spotify.
Nice.
I know. So yeah, so this is going to be very multi-use. I couldn't even come up with the word use.
But I didn't even know what you were going for. So there we go.
Multiverse. That's not it either. It's been both Kendrick and I have been having a day, so I feel like I'm a little brain dead.
Boy, oh boy.
That White Lotus finale like took me out. Like my brain kind of like I think it was like too much predicting, too much going into it. So when it did finally happen, I was like, I knew that was going to happen.
Right. I was on, I figured as we went along, I was like, Tanya's not going to make it out of this. I was like, Tanya's not. But I love the whole coming out of the room shooting thing. Like,
I loved it.
That was everything I needed right there.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. So, there we go. Okay, actually though, real quick though, to my Apple Podcast listeners. I've had a few kind of crazies on IG, and I think they've waged war on my Apple Podcast ratings. So I've gone down to 4.7. To my ride or dies, can we do the thing where we go and we rate once a day 5 stars? Because we know we can do that now, right? And let's get that shit back up. I had a couple crazy like conservatives, because I post sometimes my political beliefs, and so I had a couple crazies. Like it was weird. I blocked one of them because it just felt like a weird troll account, and then they like made another account. And like, I've never had that happen before. They made another account. They were like, you thought you blocked me, but I'm back. I've never had that happen before. And then they said specifically, I can always go rate you on Apple Podcasts. And I was like,
Jeez.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And so I checked today just to see if an episode had posted, and I saw the 4.7, and I was like, I know who that was. They've waged war.
It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Nothing better to do.
I mean, so yeah, like, She Speaks Bravo heads unite and fight this war. I mean, you don't have to. I've got to where I don't even care anymore. I'm so tired of like giving a shit about that number. It did used to bother me, but now it's like I do see a lot of really popular podcasts have like 4.5, and I'm like, I guess it doesn't even matter anymore because people just get mad about dumb stuff.
And if you don't know, women for some reason have it a lot harder with that rating system than men do. I don't know what it is.
It's true.
But people for some reason find women with a voice so aggravating for some reason, and so they like purposely leave them just like they could easily leave them a 5-star, but even if they like them, they're like, I'll give it a 4. She has room to improve. It's like, geez, like what are you doing,
Kendrick? I'm glad you said that.
It's something we've all known for a long time.
I didn't want to say that myself because then I sound like a complaining woman, and I would have gotten that, and saying it myself would have gotten me a bad rating. Like typical woman complaining about sexism. But it's true. You know what though? I even find myself doing that with women.
Do you?
Oh, because it's just inside of us. It's like that's what society has ingrained in us. Like we have our own, like misogyny runs deep. And so like even I will be like, fuck, is that just because she's a woman? And I'm like, it might be. I mean, thankfully I have enough sense to check myself, but most people don't.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's real. So, if you guys feel like it, you can. You really do. Because at the end of the day, those of you who like the show, we're here. We're cool. Speaking of, if you like the show, the Patreon is up. It is live. And guess what? 4 whole episodes are already up and ready to go, ready for you to listen to. Pia and I are recapping Vanderpump Rules season 3. So the first 4 episodes are already there, ready to be listened to or viewed, depending on what tier you choose.
Ooh.
And yeah, so go check that out. All the info is in the description of this episode. So yeah, there's that out of the way. Done. Let's get into White Lotus.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So I said to Kendrick, I said, White Lotus. I literally wrote Kendrick, period. White Lotus, period. I'm saving it for the pod, period.
Yes.
But then he asked for my thumbs up, thumbs down, and I gave 4 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick's was the same.
Basically emphasized. Yes, I basically hit those double exclamation points. Like, yep. Agree. I bet, you know what? I bet it's for different reasons, though. Possibly.
Mm-hmm. I felt like I was on a ride. Like he did such a good job with the suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like clutching whatever I could clutch, and I was like like screaming. It was literally like riding on a roller coaster. It was so good.
Oh my God! When Ethan and Cameron were in that ocean fighting, I was like, "Oh my God, Cameron's about to die!" And then he got Ethan, and I was like, "Oh my God, Ethan's about to die!" Like I was on pins and needles the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't know what to think.
We were trying to do is trying to figure out who's going to die. That's all we were trying to do. We're like, now this person's going to die. No, this person's going to die. This is it.
I love that in the post, like after the show where they do like the talking and breaking down the episode. I love that we basically got confirmation that season 3 is coming.
Thank you. We needed to hear that. We needed to hear it.
We needed that.
And that it may actually have some carryover, because we didn't get any carryover really from season 1 to 2. But he's like, you may have to stay tuned to see what this whole Greg business is about. I loved the line where Albie's asking Dominic for the money, and Dominic slowly realizing like this kid really thinks he's going to have a relationship. And he goes, how are you going to make it in life when you're this big a mark? And he meant it so sincerely. He's like, I will give you the money so you can learn this lesson, is basically what he was saying. Like, yep, I will give you this money just so you can realize like, that's what this is, dude. You are getting played by this chick.
Since we're now talking about them, can I go ahead and give why I gave 1 thumbs down?
Go ahead.
To this episode. My reasoning was, I felt like, this is so bad to say, but I felt like something should have happened to Albie and Portia now, because both of them annoyed me to no end. I hate it when I'm watching a character, it's like a horror movie when you're like screaming at the TV, you're like, don't go in there, don't go in that room. And they're like, oh, I'll go in this room. It's dimly lit and there are bats flying everywhere. It seems safe. And they just like run into the room. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I hate people that just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like, I don't know if it's street smarts, but just don't have like the common know-with-all to survive the most random of situations. And so, 1, I hate that Portia at no point just thought to say, you know what? This guy's bad. I should probably remove myself from him.
Get a fucking cab. What are you doing? That was an option? Why was she like, I can get a cab? I was like, oh, that was an option? Get a cab.
Right. Find a train or something, like a bus, anything. Like there's transportation. You're not subservient to him. You could have gone somewhere. You could have found someone to help you call a cab or something. Like,
surrounded by people. You couldn't be like, hi, how do I get to Taormina? This guy is crazy.
Right. Oh,
I
it's
agree.
Weird.
I agree.
Weird. And then Albie, I've been defending Albie to no end this entire time, but God, he annoyed me so badly this episode. And I'm just like, you cannot possibly, I'm like his dad, I'm like, you cannot possibly think this is about to work out. But then I also like I feel like that made me give it like 1.5 thumbs down. But then I remembered the fact that Lucia and Mia were winning in life. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit back. I'll give it back. It's 4 out of 5 for me.
I get to say one I told you so to everybody. That's all I get is I knew that they weren't going to kill the hookers. This whole time I stuck by that. This whole time I was like, I just don't see them dying. I see them kind of being like, it's too easy to kill the hookers. And I kind of like that they're the crafty ones that would be able to make it through no matter what.
Not only did she get paid by Albie that $50,000, she got her money back from Cam and Ethan with that night. Like, look at y'all. Mia's got a job. Like, this is amazing.
Mia's got a job. Valentina's not going to be kicking him out of the hotel anymore because hello.
I mean, come on.
I mean, it's not like not like Lucia's going to need to be hooking anymore because she got $50,000, but still.
You think she has to split that with Alessio?
Something because maybe a little cut. I don't know how much, but a cut.
See, I think that he was just helping her out of the nicest of his heart. I went back and watched that first episode, and I don't know if you noticed him in the background of that when she's walking down the street with Mia. It seems like the most pleasant interaction. Like
they're buddies.
They're buddies. That's all. Like they are not pimp and
not at even at the end. No. Even at the end, she's like, "Hey, dude, he just works at some other hotel. He's like the door guy or bellman or something at a hotel."
Yep.
They're just like friends hanging out, and they're like that. They have a bit.
Listen. In this economy, I'm not mad at you. You know how much groceries cost? Like, I'm not even mad at you for scamming somebody out of $50,000. If I could, I would, okay?
You know what? That's even what Bert says in the car. He's like, listen, unemployment is high right now, so it's good you have a job. So that's exactly it.
Yep.
The fear I felt... Quentin is the guys who played both Jack and Quentin, excellent actors.
Yes.
Quentin, whoever played him, I'm sorry I don't have their name. I don't have it pulled up, but like he did such a good job of never breaking out of being so, suave and sweet and the fabulous gay man, but still terrifying me. And that's not just because we were like, oh my God, we're onto you. It's because like he was giving that tone of like the undertone of I will probably kill you and I don't care. Like he was a great actor.
Yep.
Jack though, he scared me. Oh my goodness gracious. Like when she's like, where's my phone? And then he pulls her into the bed. I'm like, you just need to run out of the room. Just run out of the fucking room. God. You idiot.
That is baffling to me that she literally just like stayed laying. I don't know why. Portia and Albie they are on my list. They're on my list for they better not show up to another White Lotus because I
swear
am pissed off. Obviously, Greg has to come back next
actually
season.
Good call. They might. You're right. They might.
Ooh, okay. Portia can show up next season if the plot is that Greg is enjoying his life with all that money now, and now she wants to avenge her boss. If that's the plot, then okay. I'm there for that. I
like that too.
But don't bring Albie because I thought it was stupid that y'all exchanged numbers after neither one of y'all. Get out of here.
Go. When Harper starts to admit that something happened with Cameron, the tension I felt... She's like, okay, fine. I'm like, oh no. My whole body. And this is why it was just such good tension building from like the writing was just that good because like you start putting it all together in your head. You're like, oh, so you were like lying. Oh, you've been lying this whole time. Oh my God, he's going to freak out.
This whole time I was like defending her with my life. I was like, no, she want the shit on Ethan. She just want to make him feel bad. Like I would have never. And they went up there with the intention to fuck. Like the intention. That's baffling to me. Oof. So good.
Oof. So good. Oh. And oh my God, those hot-bodied men fighting in that water. Thank you.
The shirt when it got wet, did you? Whoo!
Yes. Oh, it was so delicious. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So also great structure where Jack tells Portia like, oh yeah, Tanya's already on the boat back to Taormina. And she's like, okay, I don't have a phone. The whole not being with a phone thing, I think everyone by now knows that if you don't have your phone, you're in panic mode. So like that really works for all of us. Like, you don't have a phone.
Right.
And so when she steals the phone to call Tanya, this scene is so good with her, Tanya slowly figuring it out. But first Tanya goes, listen, Jack was fucking his uncle. And that's what makes Portia go, okay, yeah, officially something bad's going to happen. Okay. Because by the way, you should have figured that out. Well, you didn't need this information, but that was all. She's like, it's official. Tanya, something bad's going to happen. And then Tanya going, you know what? That was a picture of Greg. That wasn't that Steve guy that Quentin called it. And then she puts the prenup stuff together. When Jack catches Portia on her phone, he's a good villain. He's a great villain. That actor's good because I was so scared of him.
He's like the guy in like the Lifetime movie that starts off as like the fairy prince.
Oh yeah.
But then once you get him in a relationship or married, he's the guy that's like throwing shit at the wall and punching stuff. And, why is my pregnant 16 cheerleader? I don't know. You know Lifetime. Who knows?
You know Lifetime. The tension,
like
the tension now is just so good. It's all angles. You got the tension with Tanya on the boat. You're like, get her back to Terramina. And then you have Ethan telling Daphne. And this, Megan Fahey I'm obsessed with this woman.
Yes.
The way when she processes that even Harper, because she had said she liked Harper, she trusts Harper. And now it all made sense why she doesn't have any female friends, because clearly Cameron fucks them all.
Right.
And now she's
been
like,
a pattern since college.
Yep. And so now Daphne, when she realizes like, fuck, because Ethan tells her, I think something happened with Cameron and Harper. She's like, wow, even Harper. So she goes, all right, well, let's do something about it. So let's go have sex over here. Very disappointed we didn't get to see the scene, but I also fully understood the choice not to see the scene.
Yes.
Very much made sense. Happened. Yes. Made total sense.
I have an active enough imagination that it's okay that I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah. It made total sense. I love the switch of having Mia teach Valentina how to be a lesbian, and now the hookers that Valentina has been fighting all season have now she's like, Lucia and I will take you out to a lesbian club. We'll show you how to be a lesbian, basically. And she's like, and tonight I don't mind being together again. And Valentina's like, yeah. And then she's all nice to Rocco. And then she fires that creepy piano player that comes back. She's like, you don't have a job anymore.
Yep. You're out of here.
Love that they wrapped that whole thing up.
Yes. That was perfect. I think we all wanted those two to win. So
yeah,
they won. I think we're all, they knew that they had to give us something because they knew they were going to kill off Jennifer Coolidge, the fan favorite. Yep. If you're going to go that route, you got to at least give us something. Like if you're going to kill Jennifer, let us have Lucia and Mia running off into the sunset with other people's money, living out their dreams, and just, you know what, being Italian city girls. I love that.
Walking around this, they own this city.
Yes.
When they were walking around at the end, I'm like, okay, they are the queens of Italy.
We love that.
When Portia confronts Jack in the car about fucking Quentin, this actor is so good. The way his face is, the way he can't say it, but he's saying, oh my God. He's like, well, I was going to show you around the island, but I'm not in the mood for it. I'm like, okay, this guy could definitely win awards for this role.
Yeah.
Really great performance. And this is where she goes, I could just take a cab. And I'm like, so this was an option?
Right. Crazy to me. But I can imagine, like, being out of the country is already bad enough. It's like, but I can imagine you sitting there and like willingly, I know this is probably your only person that, you know around you, whatever, but this is no longer, it's not like it's you and him against the world. This is just another stranger that's out to kill you, basically. So, I mean, I know it worked out with him telling you to, him throwing your phone out of the car.
You got lucky.
By the way, he stole. So, I mean, it's all bad. Portia, you gotta I called her I called her the white version of the black Portia we know very well, because some of her decisions are not
dumb.
not the brightest.
Real dumb. She gets in a moving vehicle with him. I'm like, okay, you never go to a second location. You're on like location number 5.
God. At least Portia Williams was smart enough to marry for money.
See?
God. I wish I could.
Tanya running around the boat trying to act cool. She's like, "Oh, let me walk," and then she runs. Then she drops her phone overboard, which is very foretelling. Gosh. Very foretelling.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then going up to the captain, "Do you know these gays?"
He doesn't know what the hell she's saying. He's just like, "Yep, I'm gay."
Yes,
too.
I'm gay.
Boy.
I can't. Then though. The last dinner with all the couples. First, it starts with Harper crying. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, did he tell her? I wondered, like, was that why she was crying? You know what I mean? Like, I wondered. But the way they're like, oh my God, hey, Daphne and Cameron are like, oh, guys, we've been texting you. Did you get our text? And they're like,
so used to this.
This is their thing. They're like, join the party, guys. This is actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the speech Cameron gives, he's like, how lucky I was to be paired randomly with this guy in college. And now look at us still in each other's lives. And Harper,
get out of here.
So great finally getting to know you. She's like, her eyes just widen, like, are you fucking seriously talking to me right now?
Right.
But I'm sorry, this worked for them.
It did.
It reinvigorated their entire relationship.
They fucked that room down, so good for y'all. Good for y'all. I'm not mad about it.
So, looks like you just need a little Daphne and Cameron in your life, apparently.
There you go. I bet they vacation together again. I bet we'll see them at another White Lotus.
I was going to say, let's get them back next season, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's go to the Maldives or whatever the hell they said. I'm like, okay, heard. Let's go. Mm-hmm. White Lotus it up there, please.
Love that. Hey, is this... for some reason, I've never even thought to look. Is White Lotus based on like a book or anything?
I don't know.
I wonder. Or if it's just something someone made up.
I would love it if it wasn't. I would love if it was just purely from, his own creation. Albie getting played, like she walks out. She just gives a second of like, oh, but then she's like, bye. I kind of don't really feel that bad. It wasn't, she lingered just a little, but not too much. I'm glad it wasn't too much and just just a little bit, but then she was gone. Goodbye. But I forgot that the trade-off, Albie was going to talk to his mom. And that is, his word is so valued that she answers his phone call finally.
Wow. It
was a big trade-off.
I don't know if my son telling me that his father's changed would make me forgive all of that damn infidelity, but
I feel like if Albie is saying it, I bet it's like, wow, okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's how valued.
His mother doesn't know that he's a mark yet, though.
Exactly.
She still thinks that his opinion is, the thing that bothered me most with Albie during this episode was I have a thing about people. It's one of my triggers in real life, and it's one of my triggers watching on TV. When people feel entitled to other people's money, it's the grossest thing in the world to me. Like him just coming to his dad and basically guilt tripping him, like, you don't need the money. Don't you do this with it? Do that. I know that they have their, as father and son, but I'm like, that kind of spoiled brattery. And that kind of feeling like you have this level of entitlement over someone else's. Like, I don't care if he's a skeevy guy. He worked for that money. That's his money. And you sitting there, oh, well, you don't need it. Give it to her. You need points in your karmic. Get the fuck out of here. If you want to, that would make me not want to do it even more. Cause I'm like, look, don't hold you talking to your mom over me. If you want us to have a better relationship, then you would do that on your own. Don't try to basically give me this veiled threat to get my money so that you can give it to this girl who you'll never see again after today. That's stupid. She's not coming to LA to see you. Sorry.
I feel like that was probably like the kind of the point. Like, Albie, you kind of pride yourself on being this like amazing guy, but you're kind of still a little brat.
Yes. That's why like that scene in the airport was so important, of all three of them looking back at the girl as she's walking off. I'm like, yep, all three the same kind of creep.
Yep.
None of you are different than the other one.
When Jack drops Portia off at the airport and he's like, just go to the airport. Don't linger at that hotel. Get out. Do not mess with these guys. Okay, so Mike White said, there was going to, like, we're still not sure with the whole Greg thing. He kind of doesn't blame it all on Greg. He doesn't say for sure, right, that it was all Greg, right? He kind of leaves it open-ended. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they were going to, like, hold Tanya hostage or something.
I wonder.
You know what I mean? I don't know exactly. But because when he says not to linger at the hotel, it makes me think that they would have killed Portia too.
Right. It made me think that, I don't know, him saying like you don't want to be at the hotel, like something to that effect. It made me think that like he didn't want to be there when they announced that they had found like a body.
Oh.
It made me think that he was gonna, like he knew that she was gonna die at some point. So that's why because at first I was thinking like, oh my gosh, she's pulling out this rope, she's pulling out this duct tape, like all this stuff. I was thinking kidnapping too. Yeah. But then when she got to the gun, I was like, oh no. It's over for you, because you can just do a knife, you can do you can do something else, but a gun, that seems finite, especially if you're supposed to get on this boat with this man. Like if you can't, I don't know if you can overpower him or not, but if he gets you tied down and all this stuff, what do you need a gun for unless you're gonna kill me? You're gonna kill me
unless you're trying to intimidate someone else. Like you're like, you know what I mean?
See, and that I thought that too, and I'm like, would we need it loaded if that's the case? But I guess, I don't know. You never know. I guess if I was a criminal, I'd probably want it loaded because I don't know what the hell is going to happen. So what
was Mike White saying about the mob? Did you listen? But did you hear that part when because you watched that whole you watched his little.
Yeah.
He said something about the mob, and I'm like, the mob?
Right.
I missed that.
The gay mob, I guess. I don't know.
I'm like, who was the mob?
I don't know. We come back next season and Valentina is running the gay mob in Sicily, apparently.
Or Lucia.
We just never know. I'm here for that.
When Tanya's like in the room, like opening up the bag and stuff, Quentin's creepy ass voice from behind the door. Because he still maintains that like really polite, like, Tanya, what are you doing? He never breaks from that. Oh, but it's still so creepy. God, it's freaky.
It is. Oh.
So here's where my my thumbs down comes from, and it's it's purely from a personal feeling.
Okay.
I don't like that they killed Tanya.
I know.
And here's why. I thought they did her dirty. I thought that I get that he's like, she would die in a derpy way. That's so Tanya. I'm like, yeah, but she didn't have to.
Yeah.
I thought that it was kind of rude to do it. I was like, you didn't need to kill her like that. That was really, God, which is a little bit insulting. Personally, I thought it would have been kind of nice to have her, this idiot Tanya character, survive all of this crazy shit and keep showing up at White Lotuses where people keep dying. And have her
said, I have all the best adventures at these White Lotuses. I think she said that in episode 1, maybe.
And I just thought, like, I understand the symbolicness of it because, like, she threw her mom's ashes in the water last season, and so then she's in the water herself. But I was like, what a bummer way to kill her. Like, she just hits her head on the boat trying to get off the boat. I was like, that was a little bit insulting to a fan favorite character. Yes, right. I get that it tracks for her character, but I was like, all right. That was a little rude.
Yeah. I think what it was for me, because we went through this whole thing where it's like, okay, Tanya is really, we're seeing her put together all these pieces. She's figuring it out. Maybe she has a chance to survive, and like all this kind of, we're going along this whole journey with her. She kills her way, like shoots her way out the thing. And then it's like, she was this smart to figure all this out, but she wouldn't think to throw her shoes in the boat first before she jumped. Like, why do you need heels on to try to jump from here to there? Like, it took me out of the moment a little bit. I'm like, that was fucking dumb. Like, what did you need this? What did you need those on for? So I get it. I'm the same way. I did not want her to die. I will say though, I do love that she escaped the bad gays. Like, I do love that she got away
and
from
that
Quentin.
They died.
Yes, and that they died too. So now they can't do this shit to anybody else.
Yeah.
And they can't, it wasn't them that took Tanya away.
Yeah.
It was her own, her own stupidity. I don't know. Her own clumsiness, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it really left a bummer taste in my mouth because it was near the end and I was like pissed.
Right.
I was like, I went, oh my God. And then I was like, she's going to come up. She's going to come up. And then sure enough,
thinking,
they just show her. I'm like, and I was a little pissed when Mike White explained it. He was like, well, it's like a derpy way that's so Tanya. I'm like, I don't care that you think it's funny. She's now no longer a part of the show.
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, maybe she didn't want to be a part of it. Maybe like Jennifer Coolidge herself was like, I'm done doing these. I'm done playing this character. I can't imagine why, because it's a good job. Like, it's a great acting role.
Right.
I just think that maybe he was done writing for the role. Like, maybe he's like, I don't want to write this character anymore. She's kind of limiting or something. I don't know.
You know what? I can't prove it in any way, but my bet would be on that after season 1, they really needed to surprise us. Because I don't think that anyone expected. God, I just rewatched season 1 this season. What was Murray Bennett's last?
Is that the hotel
Bartlett?
Manager?
Yeah,
I don't know his name.
His character. I don't think we expected him to be the one to get killed. At the end of that. And I think that's his whole thing of like, how can I make you have so much anxiety about each and every one of these characters to where you don't necessarily expect this? Because I think even like me hearing the rumors that she might be the one to die, I never believed it because I'm like, no, she's going to be she's why we're going to keep having new seasons. Like, she's going to be the thread that we follow throughout all these seasons. So I fully expected her to be like, okay, season 3, Tanya's coming back. Where's she going to go? Almost get killed in the world this time, and then bam, she's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, shit. It shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, it shocked me. Well, all right. I mean, loved it. Loved the whole episode. It was great. Like, I don't want to take anything away from it. As I was watching it, I was like, this is so fun. Like, I felt like I was on a ride. Fantastic. I loved it. Fantastic. Great job. Great writing. Great acting all around. I just thought that was a little bit rude.
It was very rude. What do you want season 3?
What do I want season 3? Well, he said he wants to focus on death.
No, where? Like, where?
Oh,
yeah, he
where?
did say that, though. Yeah.
Where? Well, Cameron and Daphne mentioned the Maldives, like, because they went there talking about, so that'd be sexy.
Love that.
The Maldives would be a very hot location. I loved Italy. This was a gorgeous location. Wow. Love that.
Kind of want them to go like somewhere like in Africa, like maybe Cape Town or something, where there's like safaris and like some beautiful like shopping and stuff like that. I feel like that'd be a vibe too. And that would
give us cool music too.
Yes.
I can hear that.
I would love to hear the theme music for season 3 if it's in Africa. Now that would be some dope shit right there.
Okay, so let's go with Africa. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I already like the theme music. I already hear it.
I love it.
That sounds great.
It's my favorite song already.
I would give this whole season. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Very high. And you know what? Rewatching season 1 like back to back, I was like, this is a lot better than I remember. I didn't think it was bad the first time I watched it. It just wasn't like when I watched it, I didn't think it was gonna sweep the Emmys like it did. Like that never crossed my mind. So I was like, oh, okay, go ahead, White Lotus. Watching it back, Murray Bartlett, I feel like I get his name wrong every time, but you know what I'm talking about. The gentleman, he's so great, just like with everything. Jake Lacey, it's just like he does douchebag so well. What's the name? Dodario. Is that it? I forget her name, but the one that plays his new wife.
Oh yeah.
She's God. She had me not anxious, but she had me just, oh God. People like her, I'm always like, just leave, baby, just leave. And I know it's a lot more difficult than that, but I'm like, just leave, just go. And she wouldn't. So I don't know.
What do you give season 1?
I give season 1 because to me, I thought season 2 was better than season 1. I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic from start to finish. I think I give season 1, and this isn't a bad score, I think I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, I think I would give it the same.
Yeah.
I would go 7 out of 10. I just didn't like the characters as much.
Yeah.
And I really didn't connect with it. So I just have to go with 7. But it's still not a bad score.
Right. They did a lot better with like developing these characters over a short time in season 2. Like I was invested in probably every single journey on this show. And there was like season 1, I get the whole thing with like Cassie from Euphoria, who's Sydney Sweeney. Like I get all of that.
Stand her.
Oh my God, that whole family was just so obnoxious.
That whole family. I'm like, why are you so mean to this son?
Right. Good Lord.
I don't understand why you're allowing this daughter to treat your son so horribly.
Oh my God, I'm glad he should be 18 now. So let's get him back on another season somewhere.
Yeah,
rowing or something. I don't know.
Rowing.
I'm about to say, and if he comes back, bring back the guy that the girl was sleeping with, Kai. I think his name was.
He was hot.
Bring him the fuck back.
Bring him back too. We need a lot more nudity in sex scenes.
Yeah, indeed.
I have to say though, whoever's directing these sex scenes is not doing a great job.
Could be better.
Way better. Get Claire Kilner, the one who did the House of the Dragon sex scenes. She's killed it. Killed it. That sex scene with Sir Christian, and we need to get her to do all sex scenes from now on.
Yes. Love that. Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you, White Lotus season 2. You've been an amazing ride. We've appreciated you.
Thoroughly
thank you for your service.
Yes.
Family Karma?
Yes.
Okay.
Such a good episode.
Bros Before Booze. Good title. It starts out with where we ended off, that Rishi and Monica, he's pulled her outside. They're under a thing. And he goes, I lied to you. And then, we're like, oh my God, he's going to admit he cheated it. But we obviously already saw the preview, which, okay, I have a bone to pick with that.
Thank you. Please pick it.
If you're going to give us a cliffhanger like that, what's the point of doing the cliffhanger if you're going to then release the first 7 minutes of the episode, basically right after you release the episode?
So stupid.
So what's the point of the cliffhanger?
I hate that across all shows. I hate that they release so much of the episode and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this to support and do the ratings, but now I got to watch this again where I've seen the first 7 minutes of this. So let's get the fuck to it.
There is what are we no point of doing a cliffhanger if you're just going to release it.
And I get that they're trying to, release it feels like they're trying to release the best scenes of the episode to kind of draw people in. But it's like, well, damn, leave a little mystery, because last week it pissed me off because they gave us that whole Amrit versus Brian thing in the driveway. And I'm like, this was such a tense ass moment. Why not let us be surprised by that? Now I'm scrolling through Instagram and it's all I see. I'm like, God damn it.
I've tried to avoid clips. I did this with Beverly Hills this past season, and I tried my hardest to avoid it with this clip, but I got tagged in it so many times that I was like, oh, fine, I'll watch it.
Right.
But any other clips that were released ahead of time, I avoided, because I don't need to watch the whole episode before the episode. It's also because they purposely do it where they cut the clip right before the next line that would resolve it happens. So it's intended to get you pissed off so that you post content, comment, engage, blah, blah, blah. And also, there's a reason why shows are edited together in a certain sequence.
Yes.
So to me, it ruins the flow of the show if you only watch things in these clips out of order. I'm like, let me watch the episode as it was intended to be enjoyed.
Housewives, I'm very good about not watching any of those. Like Potomac, they release them right after the episode. I'm like, good God, don't watch any of those.
No, neither.
So even Salt Lake, which now I'm loving this season, but like even when I'm like, I'm not watching this. No, I don't. I want to be surprised. And Miami, if they start doing that with them, I won't watch them because God, am I loving Miami? Miami is so good. Oh. So good. So I'm not watching those. I just want to Thursday wake up to a good treat and just watch it on my own. I don't need the scuttlebutt.
No.
I'm okay with it. Don't need it.
Don't need
Stop
it. Producer goes, why did you lie? He goes, I didn't know it was public knowledge that Brian told me. Now, okay, I know last week I was like, I don't believe Rishi. 0% of me believes Rishi. This is why you guys don't ever rely on me for any kind of advice. Because now I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's not lying. I'm so, you guys, someone could cheat on me so easily. I'm like, I had a friend, she was talking about this guy that ended up he was completely cheating on her. She ended up finding his other girlfriend. They ended up joining forces and doing an amazing takedown. It was super fun.
Ooh.
But she was talking about how all the signs were there, but she's like, Emily, I'm so easy to cheat on that he would leave to go get us food and be gone for like 4 hours. And when he would come back, I'd just be like, where are the nachos? That's all. She's like, but he'd be like, and she's like, oh, I just really want those nachos. So then she would just order herself nachos and not ask any follow-up questions.
Jesus.
So I didn't think about it when I saw this clip, but somehow I followed this guy's logic. He's like, listen, he didn't tell me that he told everybody, but then he told everybody that he told me, but he didn't tell me that he told everybody that he told me. Any insight as to why he told me not to tell everybody that he told me, but then he told the entire group that he told me, but then not to tell me that he told the entire group. And I was like, I followed that.
Yes. Oh my God.
Followed. And she goes, okay, so you were following bro code. And I was like, she got it.
There you go.
And this is why I am toxic. This is a reminder to everybody. Don't ever come to this show for advice. Ever. Okay? I know nothing.
We're not for you, no.
Nope. I am not an advice-giving podcast. I am not I am not an advice podcast at all.
No.
But then this is where Monica loses me again. She goes, you know better than to lie to me. And then he goes, I mean, I hope this doesn't come between us. I'm like, well, duh. It is.
Who else would it come between? What?
And then she goes, have you lied about anything else? Not even the smallest detail. And all he has to do is go, of course not, baby. And she's like, I believe you. And I'm like, now look, okay, even I'm like, well, at this point, I would just assume he's lying about a bunch of other shit.
Right. I would start going through my mind and wondering, like, okay, he went to the gym that night. He's usually gone for 47 minutes, but this time he was gone for 58. What the hell took that extra 11 minutes for him to come? My mind would be racing about everything. So, like, now I know you're a liar. Oh, no. If you lie to me, see, it's one thing if you lied about, like, no, I wasn't, I didn't go here on this weekend and do this or whatever, and then you found out that he was in that location doing whatever. That's one thing, because that's a big lie. You lied about when somebody told you something. Like, that is too small of a lie for me to be like, okay, you lied about small shit, so I know you lied about big shit too. So now I gotta go to your phone. I gotta go through your phone. Sorry.
Not like it matters anyway, because Brian already told you days ahead of time, so you've deleted everything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So.
See, ladies, this is when you wait till he falls asleep. Like, not then, but if you keep your suspicions.
Yeah.
Maybe about 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, somewhere around at a month mark. Wait till he's sleeping. We all use the face feature on our phone. Get that phone. Wait till he's sleeping. Put it right up there. Unlock his phone. Go in the next room or go in the bathroom. Act like you're peeing. Act like you want to just take a little shower. You doing da-da-da-da-da. You look through there. You get whatever the hell you need. And then, see, this is what you really need to do. You need to, okay, never mind. You know what? I was about to get some people in trouble.
Keep going.
It was going to be some illegal shit. I wouldn't go.
Allegedly do this.
Man, we've seen, how about that? We've seen people, put some stuff on there that they can, maybe get to at a later time if they need to check some stuff again. See, I'll be raggedy enough to, if he sleep, unlock that phone, which wait till it does like that. I will go in there. I will change that damn passcode using his Face ID and not listen. Y'all got to get smart, Monica.
See,
do better.
Yeah, because it's just Monica. Like, as much as I was like, I followed his logic there. I totally. Then when she was like, okay, so you've never lied to me, right? And he just trusted him when he's like, no. It's like, well, that's not. No, I mean, no. Now you don't. No, now you don't believe anything he says. What are you talking about?
Right. Good Lord.
I mean, anywho, so Brian meets Amrit for sushi, and Brian, I just like, how can you stay mad at this guy?
I know.
Because it's so cute. Because he's like, okay, I just want to say I'm sorry. I apologize for lying to you. He's like, I just thought that like in the next couple days you would talk to Rishi and Monica and it would be fine. But of course, Amrit's like, do you realize, though, that it looks like you just completely tried to tip off Rishi and protect Rishi? And Brian's logic is he's like, well, I wanted to let him know because it's Rishi's family that was the one talking shit. Amrit's like, yeah, that still doesn't track because you could have just also then told Monica at the it still doesn't track that you didn't also tell Monica.
Right. Like, at this point, you got to keep it real too, Brian. Just say, look, I wasn't expecting Vishal to snitch on me. Like, I was not expecting that. So, yeah, I'm busted, okay?
Why did you tell Vishal? Like,
of all people.
And even Vishal's like, why'd you tell me? Why did you tell me? I am the worst person you could tell.
Oh my God.
But Amrit admits that he's like, we were all bad friends to Monica. They were. He's like, we all kept it from Monica and we all should feel bad. And he's like, so because of that, you're invited to the bachelor party. Brian gets up and hugs him. He's so happy.
That's all he wanted. He did not want to be excluded. He knew literally all of his friends were going to be here. He did not want to be excluded from this. Don't do Brian like that. Not Brian Benny.
As he's hugging him, Amrit goes, you've got to take your shirt off. I bet. I'm like, the gays would have been so pissed at Amrit if Brian Benny was not at that party. Mm-hmm. They're like, what do you mean Brian is not coming? That's the only reason we're here.
Right. In some short shorts. You got to put on the short shorts.
Exactly. What are you fucking talking about? Amrit's like, guess what? Avni's going to be there. And Brian's like, what? I've been eating like shit because I didn't think she was going to come.
See, I want to ask you, do you think Brian is ready to settle down?
No.
Okay.
He isn't in his head. He thinks he is, but not in reality.
No. I think that now, like, not to see, I had to be careful how I say this because I don't want it to come across that I think he's like fame hungry or anything. So I don't think that at all. I think he's in a position now where like he has this notoriety from the show and he is enjoying all of the attention. So I don't think he truly is ready, like in that sense, to get married. Now I think he wants to be like, you know what? There's some things out there. I still got some things to see before I only see one thing, you know?
I totally agree. Totally agree. So Amrit and Nicholas discuss the bachelor party. It's going to be at Wilton Manors, which is apparently the neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale. And Nicholas says Brian Benny has promised he will be wearing short shorts. Again, they really had to invite Brian Benny. Like it was like, you can't not invite Brian Benny.
Right.
This is going to be the Chicago friends meeting the Miami friends. And this is where they'll be seeing Rishi for the first time since all of the rumors and shit happened. But before that, we get a pretty dark scene with Vish and Richa.
Yes.
And so they are living at, I think I got this right. It's the apartment that Lopa bought Richa in college.
Oh.
He said that Richa's mom bought has 2 apartments, one that she lives in and one that she bought in college. I might be incorrect about that, but it's Rich's apartment. Yes.
Yeah.
So
sounds good to me.
Rich's this was a glimpse into what the real mad Richa is. Her eyes were real terror. Like that was real terror. And she confronts him on his drinking. And she goes, I heard through the grapevine, and the grapevine being Amrit.
That was hilarious, by the way.
Someone said, someone DM'd me, they're like, about the whole Amrit with the drinking and Vishal and whatnot. Because remember, I was like, I feel like there's something there, like, you know, whatever. Someone said that they think Amrit's just kind of like a producer and just thinks that this would create conflict. And it sort of tracks that he would make Vish drink and then go tell Richa, thinking like, oh, this will just make them have a little fight, not wanting to take in and absorb that this is actually a huge problem. But I also don't know if I fully buy that. Because, like, this is his good friend. Doesn't he know?
See, I almost want to believe that now, because I literally was going to come into this episode and say that Amrit is hands down, we all know he's the messiest on the cast. And I feel like he sometimes creates drama when there is none too. Like the whole thing where he's mad that Vishal isn't there, but then Vishal shows up and then he just ices him out when he comes, and it's like,
relax.
This feels like moment after moment. So I can almost go with the theory that he feels like he needs to be maybe he's watched Giselle and Kyle and all our other Kenya.
Okay,
our other
I could
producers,
see that.
And he's like, you know what? I need to do a little producing to make this show. You know, he might have gone to BravoCon and talked to a few people, and they're like, look, this is what you got to do to keep your show on air for at least 10 years. And maybe he's just following instructions.
Because it feels a little formulaic, like he did it on he's like, now I'm going to have a lunch with Richa and say, oh, oops, was I not supposed to tell you that we had a drink? And I hope he regrets it, because obviously at the end of the episode, it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize it was like that.
Right.
Yeah. So Vish, he's like, I just want to be like loosened up and be myself. And she's like, you don't need to be loosened up around your best friend. He's your best friend. And so this felt like such deep pain from her. She's like, you hurt my feelings from the wedding. You make me feel like you don't want to come home to me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I want you to live. And do you want me to talk about all the stuff with your Crohn's that I hold on to? And he was like, no, which Crohn's can be a very embarrassing disease to deal with, or issue to deal with. So I'm sure he's like, please don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's digestive stuff, you know? So I think he said that she let the marriage license lapse because you only have a certain window of time to sign it, and then you have to like go through the process again. And so she's like, I'm not going to sign, and I'm not going to buy the house. I'm sure like he will be buying it. I'm assuming.
Right.
I'm assuming.
Imagine. I don't know.
Right? Because they're going to be closing on it.
Right.
And he's like, I promise I won't drink at the bachelor party.
Or
And she's
Mopa.
like, or just somebody.
Right.
But she's like, you're going to drink at the bachelor party. He's like, I won't. She's like, I don't believe you. And obviously the next day at the bachelor party, Amrit and Nicholas arrive. The friends are there. And it's like, woo, party, woo. It's here. And then Vish calls. And he says he's not going. He's like, you know, look, I've been lying to Richa about how much I've been drinking, even though, like, I know I've been drinking more than I say I am. And because of that, I'm not going to come. I'm in a really bad place. And Amrit, it's interesting. I'm going to assume that when he filmed his confessional, when Amrit filmed his confessional, again, I'm going to assume he's still in like producer mode because he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Honestly, like he's just so extra bitchy and over the top and like not hearing that his good friend Vish and his other really good friend Richa are going through a huge moment that has been an issue. This has been an issue in their relationship for years.
This episode I've always really liked Amrit. It really kind of put a bad
too.
taste in my mouth.
Me too.
Like, from start to finish, from the pouting to
Me too.
It just all Amrit, you gotta come back from this. Like and that's coming from me.
Yep.
You know, when people like become my favorites, it's usually kind of a problem because you know who my favorites are. So it's one of those situations where like even to me, I'm like, okay, you're doing a lot. And that's not a good place to be. I feel like if I like you, it's a good place of messiness, villainry. But it's at this point, it's like, God, it feels like you're a bad friend too. Because not only do you always report back what he's doing to other people, now we have the situation where you've like blown up Monica and Rishi's life. You're not supportive of Vishal. It's like it's a lot going on. It's like you want everyone to think that like you're the one being wronged in all these situations, but in actuality you're the one doing the wrong to everyone. So it's hard to kind of
I'm right there with you.
Bad taste in my mouth right now.
I fully agree. Rishi arrives and right away Nicholas and Amrit apologize for like not going to him sooner,
as they should.
Brian arrives and the gays go wild. They're like, oh, one of the White Claws is empty. Oh, make that 2. They go to the gay bar, and at the same time that they're showing the footage of them at the gay bar, the aunties are like, I hope they don't drink too much. At one point they show a shot of one of the go-go dancers having a bandana as like a, I don't even know what you would call it. I've never seen it fastened like that. Like it's not, because like, so a bandana can be used as like a triangle or a square. This wasn't used as the normal, it was like they put it around one butt cheek and their ball, like sideways, and their ball and their dick, and then they wrapped it on only around one butt cheek though. Like, so their balls and their dick were going to one side. And I was like, I need more information. That looks painful.
So it's like you had to have like crotchless panties. Was it like a cheekless underwear? I don't know. What was that?
I'm going to try to, I'll go back and try to get a screenshot of it. Cause I was like, wait, it didn't look, I'm like, this guy's dancing in this though. It's like he's like clocked in for his shift. So this was his committed attire for his dancing. But I was like,
listen, I'm sure he got a lot of tips.
One butt cheek was fully exposed, but that meant like for the whole night, his balls and his dick were up against his right leg.
Oh.
And that ow. And
you're doing all that dancing, so you're sweating, so
that's
it's sticking. And
it doesn't look comfortable at all.
Not a good look.
Do you see what I'm saying? It just looks very uncomfortable.
And then they're probably sticking money in there, so then the tips are
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about the money aspect of it. There's a lot of money that goes into it.
Ooh.
Okay, you get it.
I get it.
If anyone's ever been to a gay bar where there's dancers, there's got to be room for the money to go in. Okay. There's got to be room for the money to go in. Okay. Rishi pulls Amrit outside. Wait, hold on. Before that happens, though, Brian and Rish have a confessional, and Brian's like, this is like OnlyFans. And they're like, yeah. Rish is like, it's kind of like that. And Brian goes, should we make one? And Rish goes, what, together? And Brian starts laughing so much. He's like, no, that's not what I meant. Anyway,
just to be clear, I would absolutely subscribe to that.
I was like, yes, you should. Yes, you should, 100%.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
But now Rishi takes Amrit outside to chat. Amrit looks like so freaked out. Amrit's not used to actually being confronted directly, so he's like all panicked. And Rish is like, you put me in a really bad spot. I had to talk to her dad for an hour, which was really uncomfortable. And Amrit's like, look, I don't believe it. I think you're a good guy, but please don't prove me wrong.
Bloopity. I kind of love that he took a page out of Amrit's book and ruined his function for him. He's like, no, I'm going to pull him outside. Not when we get back to the house. I'm going to pull him outside right now during the middle of the shenanigans. And I'm going to confront you and leave a bad taste in your mouth for the rest of the night. And then I'm going to go back inside and put some money in this one bandana ass cheeked man that's on stage gyrating right now. Boom.
It is really jarring too, because when you go from a loud club outside to the quiet and then have to go back in, it's kind of like, oh, I'm off my game.
Yep.
Anytime the Benny family has a confessional, I'm so happy. Brian talks about, because they're asking everyone like, oh, did you have a bachelor party? Did you have a bachelor party? And then when they ask if Mike had a bachelor party, he's like, no, but my friend did. And Brian goes, yeah, when I was little, I found the pictures and it was the first time I'd seen boobies. And so I would sneak in and see pictures of them and be like, yeah. And then Dharma's like pinching him and he's like, ow, stop pinching me. And she's like, don't fucking tell the world that we had porn basically in our room that our like child was looking at.
This is literally a page out of my childhood, because my dad and his best friends went to Mardi Gras when I was a kid. And literally, you know, that's back in the days of Polaroid. So you're taking the Polaroid pictures. And I just remember one day going, and we had this, I don't know why he put them there, but like we had this big drawer like in our kitchen of just like photos of like everything, from like when family comes in town, functions, like all kind of stuff. And I opened it up and I was looking through, like there was an envelope of pictures. I was like, oh, that's a new contribution. What's that? So I opened it up, titties galore in this up and down bourbon and on the banisters and everything. I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening right now? What is this? What am I encountering? And then clearly it must have scarred me. I
was like, and that is when you knew you were gay.
Yep. I was like, it must have scarred me for life, because who knows?
You were like, and not into that.
Yep.
All right, good to know. That's what it taught you, like, oh, this does nothing for me.
At all. I'm like, oh, those are fascinating. Okay.
It was the opposite of what happened to Brian.
Exactly.
Brian was like, yeah. And you were like, oh, that's cute.
I'm like, I'm like, what are those? Okay.
You were like bored. So the next morning, bachelor party, there's a food spread. Lots of like, I wonder if Vish is going to show up. They're like, where's Brian? Brian needs to go to the mall to get a 90s outfit. And Nicholas goes, more like his mom needs to take him to the mall to get a 90s outfit. And then they cut to the mall, or they cut to the shot of his mom taking him to get a 90s outfit.
That is I love them so much.
I love them.
God. That is so funny to me.
Oh my God, they joke about, they ask Mike, like, what did you wear in the 90s? And they both make fun of him. Like, oh my God, he used to dress up, and she makes fun of him like DJing. Like, oh, he was a little DJ with his hair.
His fro and everything that he had.
Like, all of them are just like the party family. Like, they're like the good time, like always just, oh my God, when Brian keeps coming out of the dressing room and he comes out with like little short shorts and does like little Michael Jackson dance.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. I love them.
God.
Can they adopt me? Because, like, what am I doing right now? What am I even doing?
I'm loving that Amrit and Nicholas are 80s, though. Like, they didn't realize that they said 90s, but they're like, we're thinking tracksuits, neon colors, side ponytails. They're like, that's 80s. They're like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. At that point, you've got to say, you know what? It's not a 90s party. It's a retro party. Just wear...
Throwback.
Yeah, a throwback. You know, wear whatever from another decade. Be whoever the hell you want to be. Just don't copy us, because we're not in theme.
Yeah.
At all.
Exactly. I love... Monica shows up with red wine. It's a Merlot. Amrit's like, wait, are you seriously showing up to a bachelor party with a bottle of Merlot? She's like, my dad told me to bring it. It is absolutely so Monica to do that.
Yes, 100%. I'm glad Bali was there.
Loved it.
I feel like I don't get enough Bali this season, and I love me some Bali.
I think it's until she's like, I don't have it in me.
Oh,
yeah. She looks like she's struggling to like do it.
That's sad.
This is no hate at all, but she looks like she's gained a little bit of weight. Like, she's not as camera ready as she was last season. So she's probably like, I don't have the energy to do it.
Right.
Bali, when she shows up, though, she's like, where's Vish and Richa? And Vish and Amrit's like, I can't believe he's not here. He shaved his chest for this. Bali goes, well, he would have shaved his chest for anything. Let's... Please. Dude, the shot of Richa and Vish arriving with the penis sticking out of the sunroof. It's literally like just the tip of the penis, too.
I love that because it literally, Vishal is like not in the mood for this at all. But it's like we're coming, we're trying to be sports, we're give us a little minute. We need a little time. We're trying though.
Dude, the way Amrit's like, there he is. I'm not. I'm like, why?
Annoyed the hell out of me.
He said he wasn't coming, but now he's there.
There you go.
Like, when does he ever not come?
Right. He's literally always there for you. And
it must be serious. You're the one who fucking told Richa.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that made me the most mad. You're the one who told her.
And my thing is, it's not like he's missing your wedding or anything. Like he's missed like a 2-day bachelor party, like, and he came to one of the days, so it's like it's okay. Like, calm down.
And Bali goes, Bali, like to Amrit, she goes, "You've popped off enough. Stop." So then I was like, "You popped off enough. What did we miss? Like they cut something because he must have been like going off about it."
Getting drunk,
because he's wasted, like at this point. So he must have been going off about the whole thing.
Right. I believe it. I believe he was saying some stuff that was. He's glad that they didn't show on camera, and for the sake of his friendship, we're glad for you. And we're watching you.
Nicholas comes over at one point, and Amrit's like, did Vish say hi to you? And Nicholas is like, yeah. And it was like a normal hi. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And he's like, I am not going over there to say hi. And Nicholas is like, you're being ridiculous. And then when Vish comes over, he was like, I'm not even talking to you. But Nicholas is like, hi, welcome to my bachelor party. Like, I refuse to play this game. But Amrit, it's like, I'm not doing this. I refuse. I'm not doing this. And I'm like, refuse to do what? This is
my eyes
so
were rolling
bizarre.
And I thought I was having a seizure the way my eyes were rolling in my head. Like, what even is this? This is just someone that wants to be mad. And if you want to be in a pouty mood, fine. But it's literally your event. Like, why are you choosing your own party, your bachelor party, to be pissy at? Why?
You know this has got to be a big emergency for Vish not to show up to drink.
Right.
And then he even goes up to Richa, goes, I don't like your husband. Huh? And then even in his confession, he's like, it's honestly selfish on his part. I was like, okay, this has to be for the show. Like, it's got to be.
And you know what bothered me about that little bit right there? When he goes, I've been there, when he mentioned like the hospital and stuff like that, I'm like, okay. Really? You're bringing up the chromes now when you know that the drinking.
So then therefore you should know that the drinking is a problem.
Yeah. It's like, get out of here.
We're getting so mad at Amrit.
I know.
I'm equally mad. I'm glad you're equally there too, because I was like, I am very okay. I'm glad you're there too, because I was pissed off too. On my list. You are on our list. Bali then goes over to Rishi and has a great Bali moment. Only Bali could achieve something this perfect. Only the auntie hybrid that is Bali could give you this. Because she goes, look, Rishi, I'm very impressed you're here, because considering all the things that happened, no one's really checked in on how you guys are doing. We've all like, okay, Amrit apologized and everything. She goes, but just so you know, our loyalties do lie with her, which I was like, you tell him. And then she goes, and just know that she can hit it hotter and better. And just know that you probably can't.
Oh,
let him know, baby. Let him know.
All right, Bali. All right, Gra. I know that's right.
We talked about this last week about Richa, and we said that we were upset that she chooses to drink and basically take him on all these drinking events and doesn't like not drink in solidarity. But here she is not drinking in solidarity. And so I was like, good. Okay, good. Yes. Because it was really fucked up in our opinion. We said it together. Like, you're going to be mad at him for drinking, but then you're going to go to all these events where there's drinking and then drink. So it's kind of unfair. Right. However, she realizes that this is an issue. She will join him. And that is amazing. That is absolutely fantastic. It's what he needs.
Yep. Go Richa.
Avni is talking to Bali. Bali's like, where's your boy, Brian? And she's like, look, we're in different places. I'm ready to get married and have kids. And Bali goes, oh, he's probably already named your firstborn. Enter Brian. And Brian's like, in his confessional, Avni's looking good. Probably though, you know, because like the 90s are like her era. He's like, wait, no, that sounded wrong. You know, because like she lived through it. Wait, no, I'm not trying to say that. And this is why like they're, you know, but Avni and Brian have like they have like this moment, and she's a very like intense person.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time with it because she's like, your energy's so positive, and when I kissed you the other night, oh my god, I had a few drinks, but there was twinkles in our eyes, and I'm like, take it down. Like,
it's so the type of people, like, you know what? Working with people like that drives me insane because it's like, okay, it's fucking 8:15 in the morning. Like, calm the fuck down, first of all. Like, I'm barely here right now. Come back to me at like 11 o'clock when I'm really like in my groove. But like, don't do this shit. Like, don't, stop. Your energy is so off-putting for everything. Like, calm down.
And I was surprised Brian met her energy. But he met it in that like cheesy Brian way. He's like, I'm seeing twinkles now, huh? And then the drunk idiots are like, kiss. And ain't nobody going to kiss when you're telling people to kiss. Stop it. And then they literally go in a closet and kiss. Ooh.
Here we go.
But thankfully, Avni's confessional is he's great boyfriend material for another woman.
Well, I guess we don't have to go down this road anymore.
Oh, thank God. I'm like,
we're
good.
Still looking, Brian. We're still looking.
Richa, because she's in the confessional with her, goes, Brian is for funsies. I'm like, yes. Okay, thank God. Because I was like, please don't make us go down this fake storyline route of like, will they be a couple? Because it's going to drive me nuts.
Right. I wonder, has he ever gone the route of like, let me actually go to the aunties and uncles and tell them to set me up with someone.
I would love that route.
I know.
Even if it was just a storyline, I would love it. Can we do that?
I would love to see, because I want to see who they think he'd be good with. Because, you know, parents always think they know the perfect person for you, and then you meet them and you're like,
I would love that.
I know.
That's a good spinoff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they did that for Dumbass Shep on Southern Charm.
Oh,
what a great spinoff idea for the aunties to hook up Brian and do like a dating show that way.
Yes.
Kendrick,
even if it's just like a
copyright, trademark, fuckers.
Trademark.
Don't even think about it.
Don't do it.
He is pitching this to Bravo tonight.
Yes. I would love, it's just like a little like 3 episode after the season ends kind of little thingy where you know we follow this journey from start to finish. I would love that. And plus to give us like, I love like they give us so much of their culture and stuff, so I feel like it would be so great to actually see more of that part of it, like, because we've seen on the show that there are really a lot of different representations, whereas like some are so traditional where others are a lot more modern. And so I think the weaving of the modern and the traditional on a dating show would be so good to see, because we don't see it really often. We see a lot of just formulaic kind of bullshit like The Bachelor nowadays. So I would love another component. You got to keep our interest nowadays. So
I like that.
Brian, Bravo, let's do it.
He would
put
love
it on
too.
Peacock. I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's super easy too. People love dating shit.
There we go.
All right. Amrit's wasted. So he's on the couch and he's like making everyone like, he's like, everyone lay on top of me. And poor Vish is so awkward. He's like, hey, Amrit. Hey, Amrit. And Amrit's like, I don't like you. And Bali's like, just shut the fuck up and stop being an asshole already and go talk to him.
Right.
So they
go. For Bali.
God, right? So they go outside and on their way, like the confessional Amrit gives when he's like, I just feel like I've always been there for him. And I'm like, he's here.
Right.
He called and said he wasn't coming. Like, it's not like he didn't call you. It's not like he just ditched you. He called and said, like, I'm in a bad place. Like, he didn't say, like, you told Richa, but you told Richa that I drank the other night. Now I'm in trouble. Like, you did this right before the fucking bachelor party. What do you want?
Right. It's your fault. Sorry.
And so I feel like the theory that maybe this is all okay. That's a nicer theory that maybe this is all producing.
Mm-hmm.
There is another more savage theory.
Okay.
And it is sometimes like you've got like a power gay is a real thing.
Yes.
And he's a power gay.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
with the briefcase to prove it.
A minority. He's an Indian lawyer who just made Partner, who's on a TV show, who, so it's like it also is possible that he is just that spoiled and does expect to be the center of attention. Like he came back from wherever the fuck he was and started causing a mess with Anisha and Vish right off the top.
Yep.
So he may just be this selfish and this messy, but because Vish is more obviously a mess, we didn't clock it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yes, it could absolutely be producey stuff, 100%. It totally could. But this it felt a little bit more natural for him to be like self-centered. His colors are showing. Yeah.
True colors are really kind of showing.
I think we, like, in the gay community, we know the power gay. Mm-hmm. They are savage. Mm-hmm. And so this looked like when Vish was so vulnerable and was like, I'm not comfortable being sober at this party. And he starts crying. He's like, I don't think I'm interesting. I feel like a fuck up. I think I do have a drinking problem. And that is a huge thing to admit on camera to your friend and to yourself. Mm-hmm. And Amrit looks disappointed. Right? Like, if this was just a producey thing, I feel like it would have been like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Now we'll go to this storyline then.
Right.
Instead, he looked awkward. And it was like, I want you to fix yourself. And I know we believe he loves him, but it was the way he goes, I wasn't going to pressure you, okay? If you came last night, I wasn't going to pressure you to drink. I'm like, yes, you would have.
You always do.
That's all you've done this whole season is every time you go anywhere, you pressure him to drink.
So let me ask you, do you think this was a moment of like kind of realization like, oh shit, I've been acting an asshole this entire day. He's actually like revealing something like I have a drinking problem. And so do you think it was kind of a selfish thing of, oh, wow, now I'm going to come across as the bad guy in that situation?
There's probably an element of that for sure. Good call. Probably for sure. He's like, fuck this. He's like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this episode.
He changed tones immediately.
Yeah. And Vish's confessional, the producer's asking him about it. He's like, yeah, I definitely am going to have to do something drastic about it. And it's sad because when Vish goes over to Richa at the party, he's talking about how he's like having a hard time. And she's like, well, don't have anxiety over it. You're fine. Very dismissive. Mm-hmm. And I feel fucking bad for him, because when you're the life of the party guy and you've caused a lot of damage, it's tough to get that level of support you need because the person that you've caused that damage to is mad at you.
Right.
Like they're resentful. They don't really feel like coddling you.
Right.
So you've got to find some support and you've got to find some language that you've not had before. And next week, when you hear Lopa saying, you think Vishal's a perfect guy? And then she sticks up the middle finger. I'm like, I don't know what that's in reference to. And I'm hoping this guy who's about to go on because it's really tough for men to go on journeys like this. Yeah. Not like it's not hard for women, but it's really hard for men because admitting something like that, like it's so much vulnerability.
It requires a level of self-actualization that a lot of men do not want to do. Not necessarily that they can't do. They're not interested in really kind of turning the mirror on themselves and saying, wow, I'm kind of shitty sometimes, or wow, I have a problem, or wow, I'm, whatever the situation is. A lot of men they have too much pride to do that. And that's what's sad about it.
And this is really the character arc I needed, selfishly, to be able to get on board with Vish, because he was triggering the fuck out of me. I remember we talked about how you said you thought, you found Vish attractive, and I was like, you can have him, I can't stand him.
Yes.
And it's because of this like little man baby, like inability to sink into his reality. This is what I needed. Selfish, like, what the fuck do I need? But like, I was like, okay, here we are. I needed him to settle. I needed him to, but it's a dark thing to look at. Thankfully, he's got a great family. He's got a fantastic support system in theory, but having Crohn's is a very embarrassing thing. I had a friend who had Crohn's, and it's just, digestive stuff's very uncomfortable, and it's hard to talk about. It's very embarrassing. So I feel like it's probably made him feel, he's a gorgeous specimen. Look at his body. So clearly it's not like harming him too much in the looks department, but it's a very that's a very vulnerable thing for him too. So this is an interesting story arc for him. And now, like, think about it. All this time it's been like, Amrit, he's so great, especially last season when he came out to his grandma. Like, we were like, oh my God. Now we're gonna get Vish. We love the vulnerable, we love that kind of stuff, the realization of who you really are, and then Amrit's looking like a total asshole. And Richa's not looking great either, in my opinion.
Yeah, both of them really gotta do a complete 180 and kind of figure this shit out, because he's like desperately trying to like figure out what's going on, and neither one of them seem very sympathetic. Amrit is just both of them, they're both just kind of like matter of fact people, so they don't do a lot of sympathy, and it's weird that someone like Vishal is like emotionally attracted to both of them in the way that he is. It's kind of weird, right?
That was deep. I loved that.
I feel like I'm in my Iyanla bag right now.
You are. This is very Iyanla Fix My Life right now.
Yes.
We say it a million times. We just need a quick Iyanla check-in on all the shows.
Yes.
We just need like one Iyanla moment a season. She just comes in.
You know what I would kill for? If we could get Iyanla to host a Potomac reunion one year. Oh my God. Talk about TV gold. Oh my God. Oh, I would love that.
I had the shadiest idea. I don't know if you guys saw it on my Instagram, but I would be so up for, and this is savage, I know, a Robin Giselle season-long feud.
Oh.
Because they could take it.
They could take it, and they'll bounce right back.
They could take it. They could, just because Robin is really showing a lot more, like, her relationship with Candace. I didn't realize how close they'd gotten, and like her ability to kind of come to a conclusion with Wendy. Giselle is still trying to be the same messy. And so I could just see just a tweak and like a whole season, just would be a really interesting dynamic shift for the whole cast.
It would be, and you know what? Because I feel like most of them would probably, even though, I've said it a million times, Potomac revolves around Giselle. She's the one that drives the ship. We all know that. Some people are in denial, but we all know that. But I feel like the cast would probably more so flock in terms of friendship towards Robin than they would Giselle, because Giselle is the one that more so does the dirty work on the outside. And so I feel like they would all kind of, so Candace, she's on Robin's side. Karen would be a toss-up, but I think
Karen would be a toss-up.
Yeah,
I think she would. I would be, just because Robin and Karen have feuded so much about, like, and so and Karen and Giselle have finally come to their own truce. So I just think it'd be a really interesting shift.
That would be, ooh.
I know.
I would be crushed, but I mean, it would make for great TV.
Crushed, but they would find, I feel like they'd find their way back together.
Yes, absolutely.
But it probably wouldn't happen because they are, at the end of the day, too close. They love each other too much, and nothing could really, because what the thing about them is they do. I don't even know how I got on this topic. We talked about because you talked about Ayanla.
Yes,
Ayanla hosting the reunion, because they can confront each other. And still move on. Like like Robin confronted Giselle in her face on camera, and they still are cool. Like that's the difference with a lot of Housewives alliances. They just don't confront each other. Yes. So when there's even one confrontation, that's what starts the feud. As where they can, so they most likely won't. But I just think it would be a very interesting shift, because people always want Giselle to have. No one takes Giselle down, and I swear Giselle is just waiting for her turn, but no one takes it. So she's like, okay, I'll just keep going.
Like me in the driver's seat again. That's fine.
I swear, in her mind, she's like, still nothing. Like, you guys are not going to come again one more season.
Right.
So she's like,
she does not take this shit personally. This is like her job. So she absolutely would probably respect the people that came and were like, no, this is your takedown season. You're going to fuck down. But they won't do it.
Appears like she takes it personally. People are like, oh, she gets all mad. I'm like, well, she has to. Otherwise, she won't look like she's doing it right. So she has to appear like she's really pissed off.
Right.
But just keep going. Like, you guys, like, that's why I swear, when she's like, Chris made me uncomfortable, it's like she was expecting some kind of retaliation. She's like, and now you're going to go dig something up? No? All right, well, she's waiting for it, I swear.
You know what? We probably won't get there. We probably won't get a Robin and Giselle feuding, but I feel like the next best thing, which could really shake some shit up, is if we actually got a true friendship between Candace and Ashley. Because I feel like that could really kind of divide some shit.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable. That moment at that dinner where Ashley was going at Mia, and then Candace was like to Jacqueline, was like, aren't you going to jump in? That's your friend. And Jacqueline was like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, ooh, ooh. There are moments where I'm like, should we pick it back up again? But I'm like, no.
Yes.
I'm too scared.
You know what you making that sound just reminded me of the most random thing in the world. But do you remember the episode this past season of Atlanta when Kenya and Sheree were with what was her name? Rowan at the fashion show, like trying to like interview models and stuff like that. And then after that fiasco, Kenya was telling Sheree, she's like, you need to get like some real models. Like you need to get some real people in here and know what they're doing. And Rowan just kind of casually walks by and she's like, you need a budget for real models. And then Kenya's,
Kenya loved her.
She did.
Loved Rowan. She's like, whoever this is, we need to have her on every season.
I need way more of her.
Yeah.
Way more of her.
Wow, that was some fun little tangents.
No.
Okay,
I'm making
guys.
weird movements. It's my dog, y'all. It's not anything else.
I knew what you were doing, and I was like, I want her to. Can she pop up?
She's been trying like all episode. Come here, baby.
Yeah, she can pop up and say hi.
Hi.
Oh,
hi, baby. She got a new pink collar, too.
I love her pink collar. Hi, girly girl. Oh, she's so happy.
She's so excited.
She's like, I finally get to be a part of this show. She's a star.
She is absolutely a star. We got to get her on somewhere and make me some money.
I swear to God.
Okay, baby. Okay. All
right. Well, she's fussy, so let's just wrap this up. God. Okay, guys. Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to support me, please go to buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo and buy me a coffee or 2 or 5. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. And if you haven't already, please rate, review, and subscribe to the pod. Thank you guys. I'll see you on Instagram or TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. Bye.